Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great morning. Can everybody hear me okay? It's a lovely day in the Carolinas. Excuse me, it's raining. The squirrels are doing backstrokes in the backyard. Just another fun day. Good morning, Todd.
Howdy.
How are you?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Um,
Old timers is kicking in lag. Nah. I'm how's she doing? I left that one out. Or you guys. And I did one of those was just for you. Can you guess which one it is, lag? Anyway, what's going on with you in the big city, Todd?
I don't know. I'm not in the big city. Um, just got my awesome three, four orders packed. Yay. Sales have been kind of lackluster lately. Lackluster lately. Slow.
Right.
I need them to be fast. I need to be rich. I need my stuff to sell now. But we'll see.
Good morning, Craig. Well, why do you think that? Why do you think it's so slow?
I don't know this time because this time last year it was not slow. It wasn't gangbusters last year at this time,
Right.
but it was steady as she goes. How does that make me feel? Thank you, psychiatrist Lag, for asking. Uh, it doesn't make me feel one way or
I
another except not as rich as I want to be.
Here I am to liven up this place, damn it.
well,
All
I'm glad.
right. Yeah, on Primo Chemo's show yesterday, he and Major Wynn were talking about us old geezers and how much they learned from the times gone by when me and Tom and,
Don't throw me
geezers
in.
talk. And I was like, am I so old that people don't understand what I'm talking about? Well, there you
I,
go.
I went to the yard sales and Tom, there's an action figure of you.
Hmm.
Who the hell is that?
He looks just like you. I'm like, damn, I gotta buy it because it
What's
looks like
his
Tom.
name? Emperor Zorg or something.
That's,
Emperor
that's Darth Sidious.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Darth. It is.
What color's your eBay door, Todd?
What color's my eBay door? Let me look.
That's what Craig and Mr. Sadie wants to know.
My door is blue. I think it's always. I don't know if it's ever been anything but blue.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be entertaining tomorrow. All these damn serious ass shows. Whatever happened to the comedy? You can reselling not be fun anymore? Damn.
Well, I think it's because
Yep, yep.
people are kind of concerned right now.
If
Good morning, Chastity. Good morning, Mr. Sadie. Lag, I'm always glad to see you. I know it's gonna be good if you show
So
up.
I needed to make a video. You know, all these people make these videos. I almost went broke at this yard sale. So Harlan and I went to this yard sale on Friday, and of course I wasn't wearing the camera because I lied. And this guy had all these action figures, and I asked him, "Are you a reseller or a collector?" He goes, "Oh no, I'm selling my collection." He said, "It's 6:45. My help hadn't got here yet. Maybe come back later on this afternoon or tomorrow. I'll have a lot more out." So I bought $110 worth of figures. There were a couple of them that were the little R2D2 guys. I got them listed on Amazon already. They're 150 a piece.
Wow.
So we came back, and those boxes are full. So I spent 110 there. Then I spent another 330. There's three of these stuffs full of these damn things.
Dang.
End up buying so he had a price anywhere from 5, 750, 10, 15, 20. And but if you say let me buy them all, he sold them all at an average of $4 each.
Dang.
So somehow I'm restricted on GI Joe, so I'm listing these today on eBay. I think these three are worth about 30 each on eBay.
Is that Hasbro?
They're GI Joe. I'm restricted in just the GI Joe section of Hasbro, which is kind of irritating since there are like 13 GI Joes. I got a list now.
Why are you
Something happened last week, Tom. I guess you haven't been paying attention. They deleted in my merchant fulfilled inventory I bet over half my inventory is gone. Listings are gone. And when I noticed and started putting them back, I'm restricted in all kinds of shit I've never been restricted for. No, there's nothing in my damn health. Everybody keeps saying that. Oh, go look at your performance. It might be something in your account health. There ain't shit in my account health, folks. And it was weird that every one of my computers, when I logged into Amazon, it made me pick the region where I'm selling because I sell in Canada and Mexico through their remote fulfillment.
right?
So it made me pick the American store. It made me do the little second security thing to log back into my account. It's just really weird how something happened to my account. I don't know what the fuck they did to it. But
Have you talked to them?
what? This is Amazon. This ain't eBay. You can't call them up and beg and plead for your sympathy. This is Amazon. Amazon at the other end will say, "Why are you talking to us, peon? Go away."
You just make too much money with them to quit, though, don't you?
They're too easy to sell on. But I'm definitely but never fear. All the stuff that if it makes money on Amazon, it makes money on eBay. I'm just putting it on eBay. Stuff that I can't. But yeah, the GI Joe stuff. Which box? The bottom? No, the top box is all the stuff that either going to the auction or going to eBay. But the other two are going to Amazon today. You'll have to tell. Lag says I'm about to tell you the same story again next week, Tom.
Well, no, I'll remember it now that I've heard it.
But don't be afraid to ask somebody. I'm sitting there scanning, and every one of them is making sort of decent money. To say, hey, what you want for all of it? This dude starts counting. He goes, well, and I watch him count, and he looks at me and goes, probably an average of $5 each. Let me count them up. I'm like, $5 each. Let's go.
Nice.
Be quiet, Craig. You're right behind me. You're headed up the hill too. Yeah, you were bad mouthing. You let bad mouth TikTok and left them, and so now they affect your Amazon account.
I just got tired of every 10th or 11th one you get some damn political. It's a paid ad, and it's there's some shield for the Democrats. How good Joe's doing. I'm like, Joe don't know how to wipe his own ass. What are you talking about? How good Joe's doing? I mean, how many times we got to see him this week? Look at the camera and go. I don't think I can tell you what I really think.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I I guess it's just not really season yet, but I haven't really seen a lot of political ads.
no, thank God.
Just not time to get cranked up yet, I guess.
I guess.
Y'all
I
shut
mean, I
up.
expected it now. Every other ad would be political. I mean, not even for our local ones. Oh, that reminds me, honey. We need to go vote for in the lieutenant governor runoff today.
Don't talk this crazy mess up because they'll show up.
Um, our lieutenant governor for Republican Party is having a runoff today.
Who's running? I mean, who are the choices?
I can't remember, but I'll know. When I see the ballot and I see their name, I'll tell you. Uh,
Is, is, is the
that's
current
sad, isn't it?
is the current lieutenant governor running for governor?
Yeah, he's running for governor.
Good, because I told you he's going to be your next governor. There's no way Mark Robinson doesn't win governor. If it is, they have really.
It's gonna be time to move out the state. I'm gonna pull a Californian. I'll move across the border.
He'll. He's their worst nightmare. If he gets up there and he don't care what he says to anybody, and he's going to do what he thinks is right and right by people. God, North Carolina's going to be so much better off. Because y'all got a Republican super majority. Can you imagine a Republican governor who just doesn't care what the Democrats think, and a super majority who's ready to change things?
Yeah,
Game on.
but you never know with this. You never know with this state because our overall state is Republican, but the small state. I mean, like this Raleigh and Charlotte and Asheville and Greensboro, they tend to vote Democrat.
A lot of that's changing. I'm telling you, uh, Trump has changed a lot of that. I'm telling you, just from what's been done to him, and if people, not everybody's awake, but a lot of people see what's going on now.
Well, I think the
The,
whole climate has changed as
the
far as
economy, the economy, and how bad everybody's suffering is really making it very obvious what's happening.
you know,
Hmm.
and even the super left companies are just losing their ass. I was watching a video yesterday and about Hollywood, and just about everything they've turned out in the last year has been a bomb. They've spent several hundred millions making something that's not even made enough money to pay for
The scary thing is one of the few movies that's done anything, which made me a lot of money, was the Barbie movie.
it. Yeah, but that indirectly made money. It made you money.
But it,
Uh,
it went over a billion for worldwide. That's one of the few that's actually made money.
yeah,
And
and I,
even it had such a left lean to it that so many people left it going, that sucks.
well, that's just it. I watched it on one of the streaming services, and I wanted because just the way it looked, the graphics of it in the beginning just looked really wild, and I wanted to see that part. And then when they changed over to the real world, that's when I just kind of lost interest in it because it went from bad to stupid.
Yeah, I think the real thing with reselling, and people are finding this out a hard way, is you can make a lot of money in a niche category and doing that kind of stuff. But when economic times hit and times get tough, your niche can be destroyed,
Hmm.
or the competition can get greater. And if it is much easier if you sell a wide variety, and everything seller has a much much easier ability to pivot and pick up different stuff or switch. A lot of people talking about they're switching what they sell. It's much easier to do that whenever you're an everything seller and you're prepared to sell anything. You don't care what it is. If there's money, and I'll sell it. I sold a lot. I shipped a lawnmower yesterday, for God's sake. That damn thing weighed 53 pounds. It was 34 by 23 by 13. It cost me $54 to send it to Texas, and they paid 103 shipping. And no, they didn't get my discount.
Why would anybody buy? I know that was money for you, but why would anybody buy a lawnmower from eBay?
It's a robot lawnmower. It's one
Oh,
of the
it's a
ones.
Was
robot.
it
It was brand new in the box, never opened. I bought it. I bought it completely sealed, so I bought it at a yard sale.
it's cheaper on eBay, Tom? Duh.
Cheaper. That's a
Well,
$750 lawnmower he got for
well,
five.
it was
He
a
got it for
robot
500.
lawnmower.
He
Okay,
got it for 500. I'll show you
um,
what.
it wasn't like it was. I didn't know what I didn't know it was a robotic lawnmower
I'm trying to let me get back to my sale. I've had a few. My sales have not slowed down. My sales have actually picked up
on eBay or all of them.
on eBay. And I told you, there's not really a good picture of it. You can see the boxes in, but it's just a little robot that runs around the yard.
Right,
So it's also a Husqvarna, never been opened. And yeah, it's a $750 lawnmower. I mean, so he got 250 off by buying it on eBay. Uh, the guy I bought it from at a yard. So this you got to be prepared. So Harlan and I get to this yard sale. It's like 10:30. This dude has the lawnmower in his driveway, and he's like $150. And there's a setup kit that you can buy extra that has more stuff for it.
right.
He wanted 20 for that. By the time we got finished talking to him, he goes, if you want that lawnmower, I'll sell it to you for 150, and you can have the kit for free. So I've got it listed for 110 on eBay right now. There's 150. I got 503 shipped, so it cost me 207 plus fees. So I'm gonna make what 250 on the thing,
Yeah,
plus probably another 80 on the other thing, 70 on it. I mean, so that's a $300 deal sitting in somebody's driveway. All I did was put extra tape around the seams
right.
or throw a label on top of it, and UPS picked it up at my driveway. Even if you had to pay UPS the $8 for the week to come pick the damn thing up, I mean, this ain't hard. But so many people won't touch big stuff. I'm trying to do small stuff. But when $300 is laid in somebody's driveway, I'm gonna pick up $300.
Yep.
Well,
I think John did one. You had a lawnmower yesterday too. That he parted out because it wasn't working exactly correct. But he made more money on the part out than he would have made it whole. It was a battery power. The batteries on these things are worth a lot of money, folks.
well, good batteries on anything's worth some good money. I forgot who it was that used to when they would buy one these deals where you buy the drill and you get a battery and you get a free
Right.
battery with it. He'd
Sell the
buy
battery.
he'd buy it, then he'd sell the extra battery off separate.
Yeah, and then get probably half his money back. So he's
Yeah,
only got half. Yeah.
because the batteries is what's expensive.
Uh, so Todd,
Yes, sir.
how did your poker go last night?
My what?
How did poker go last night?
Oh, it's okay. I finished like 60 something and won like $20, but
What did Larry win?
Larry got 7th place. He won like $300, and I'm like, holy crap, snack crowd, man.
Yeah, he's in the chat telling me to ask you about it.
So how much are you still down, Mr. Sadie, after that 300 win?
oh, bull. On internet poker, Sadie's up thousands.
Oh, is he?
Yes. Yes.
He knows how to play, huh?
Well, yeah. Every once in a while, I'll do better than him. I had like
But the yard sales are still good out there. Harlan and I are still buying a lot of stuff. They weren't as good this week, but we're anticipating this weekend. There's a couple of neighborhoods that we like that are going to have their sales, so we're anticipating doing well. Uh, there's still stuff out, folks. You got to source now while and during yard sales. Everything is so much cheaper. The cheapest way to source besides an auction is to buy it at a yard sale. I mean, Harlan's buying pants. So he and his lovely lady were at a yard sale. She wanted him to pick up. She bought a coffee table or something on Facebook Marketplace, and she wanted him to go with her. So they went to pick it up, but they saw a yard sale on the way and stopped. And they ended up picking up something Buckle brand. I'd never heard of it before. Evidently, some fancy to do store in malls. And Buckle brand, they had shorts and all these jeans and shorts in a stack. And the lady says they're $1 a pair, and if you buy more, they'll be 50 cents. So she was selling Buckle brand shorts for 50 cents a pair. Evidently, they're $70 or $80 pair of shorts. I don't know, but
Wow.
it, it's out there. Uh, yeah. How long have you watched me? Is it surprised I've never heard of that? Are you surprised if I'm I buy stuff at yard sale? Okay, so this is one of the few shirts I own I didn't buy at a yard sale. I bought it from Steve on Whatnot because nobody else bid on the $5 Life is Good turtle shirt. Shell, yeah, Life is Good. Shell, yeah. Um, it's out there, folks. You got to make a little bit. So many people expect things to be given to them. I mean, I'm already making plans now. Looking at, I talk about it so much about having goals, evaluating your methods. I'm serious. Next January, when it's cold in Alabama, it ain't cold in Florida. I'm telling you, flea markets and all that crazy mess in Florida are just carrying on and selling stuff. And I know if I include the cost of gas to get to Florida, for heaven's sakes. Um, if you think, I mean, it'll take 3 tanks of gas, a tank and a half down, a tank and a half back. So 3 tanks of gas, $120 in gas. Lodging maybe another 80 to 100 because I'll stay one. I'll leave here on Thursday night. Uh, Thursday, Friday. I'll leave here like midnight. So I'll need a hotel Friday night. I'll go to yard sales Friday, Saturday, and then come back Saturday night. So you need one. You can do it with one hotel, and so you got to overcome. Can you buy enough stuff to overcome $200? Which everything is a write off, and then the gas. I know this. I know people are crazy, but I make money on gas, folks. With the Toyota at as many miles as it's got on it, and business miles now, every one of them is free.
Hold on just
Less the cost of gas every mile. Y'all realize there's 232,000 miles on that Toyota. I have put 218,000 business miles on that Toyota. Do the math on that.
wow. Hold on just a second. And this is where have you been, girl? We haven't seen you. We've been worried about you. I mean, we've been so worried that Lag drove up by your house to see if you were okay.
And this I have not been worried about you because I know only the good die young, so I knew you were safe.
Okay. Um, Speaking of automobiles, I don't know why it started coming up in my playlist lately because I'm not looking for anything, but I've been getting, which I did used to watch their channels. It's these guys. They have little car lots and they're going to the auto auctions
Yeah,
and
I've watched some of
whatnot.
the same ones, and the car prices are dropping dramatically. I actually have inventory now.
Yeah, and he said that um, a lot of car dealers are dumping stuff because the prices are too high. Trying to retail them, so they're going to see what they can get out of them at auction. But yeah, like you said, he's talking about prices are coming down. Um,
I watched one where he's live at an auction.
uh,
And there are certain cars that there was a Toyota 4Runner. It was like a seven. I mean, it was the next one up. It was the Land Cruiser. It was a 17 Land Cruiser with 105,000 miles on it and limited, and it couldn't even get a $20,000 bid. It went with it went no. There were cars that were
well, I was just watched one, and he was talking about buying $1,000 car, and he says most people are not looking for $1,000 car, but with the economy like it is, people will be looking, for a cheap car,
See, the
and
guy I was looking at said we are in the market for older model,
it,
little higher mileage foreign cars. He says, I want a $4,000 or $5,000 cars I could put all over my lot because that's what people are going to want. They want a Toyota Camry with 200,000 miles on it that is going to go another 200,000 miles. But relatively, except for the Camrys, you got to watch the Camrys. There's a Carlin got one, his daughter got one between '06 and '08, they had some oil issue burning problems. Some of the V6s, I believe, might have been four cylinders. But do your research on a Cam. But any other Camry, God, they'll go forever. And the difference between a Camry and a Accord, folks, is the Toyota decided, you know what, we're putting time and chains in these cars, and Honda still uses time and belts. So every 100,000 miles, a Honda has to have a major $1,200 service done. Toyota said, you know what, we don't need none of that. Just keep driving.
my oldest son has a 2002 Honda CRV, and it hasn't hit 100,000 miles because it was my mother's, and it literally was driven to the grocery store and to church, and to the hairdresser, to the
Has it had
beauty parlor.
has it had a timing belt change yet?
Nothing.
There's a time, Tom. There's an age limit on those timing belts.
Right.
Do a little reading because if the thing about the timing belt, they're called interference engines,
Right.
which means if the timing belt goes, that engine is an aluminum block. It's gone
Um,
because the heads and the piston they'll hit together and they'll be done.
just shatter it. Well, he's looking for him a Toyota truck, but as long as this one's running, he's not got a car payment or anything. Not spending any
All right.
money. But anyway, the guy was like, car prices are coming down. Dealerships are having problems selling new cars, and so that means that people are not trading in their cars. One of their biggest competitors is now is on its way out, and that's the not Auto Trader, CarMax.
Yeah, they're on their way out.
They're on their way out. And
They've got legal problems too that they're gonna have to deal with for a while.
well, he said that from what he's been told in the industry, they were buying people's cars, because they'll buy people's cars. They were buying cars for just about retail price, and then add money to it to sell on their car lots, and that's the reason they're not selling any cars. But anyway, that I think that's a sign because before they couldn't keep cars on the lots.
And also, too,
And
people are keeping cars longer. This one thing the pandemic has taught people is you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. That car that's 4 or 5 years old, hey, 5 or 6 years old is not a bad thing. 6 or 7 years old, it is much. A lot of them is much easier to fix them than it is to go payments. I mean, Joni's car's got 4 payments left, and
right,
it's a 2015 Acura. We bought it when it was couple 3 years old, and it's got like 64,000 miles on it. You know how long that Acura is going to go?
well, you're talking about keeping cars. My Outlook, we had a new transmission put in it because the new transmission because an Outlook is for the y'all don't know it's a Saturn product and it's the size of a
It's a small
not
issue.
a
It's the same as a CRV. They're the same size.
no, it's bigger than an ES.
Oh,
It's more the size of a Blazer,
okay, it
not a
is
Blazer. What's the Ford
the Explorer.
Explorer? Anyway, so it's like 4 grand to put it in, and that's a lot cheaper because you couldn't buy anything used with several 100,000 miles on it for 4,000. At least I know what's in this one, but the Saturn is the same in the same category as General Motors' other cars, and they had General Motors had transmission problems all across, through all their different brands,
Mhm.
and people were having to have their transmission replaced in these cars with 70,000 miles.
The
Um,
same thing too is you can't buy a new Nissan. Their transmissions they thought Nissan thought it was a great idea to buy the transmission company that was supplying them transmissions that were in any of the Nissans that have got the variable the CVTs that
Right.
run away, not just walk, run. The Jack's transaction or whoever they are transmit Jayco transmissions are the worst transmissions ever made. And I know you want some of that big ultimate energy and all that crazy shit they're talking about online. Run away from those damn cars, guy. I had a Nissan. One of my favorite car ever was a 92 300ZX, but it had a manual transmission. The
Oh,
truck,
that's
the big Titan trucks and the Frontier still use different transmissions. They're okay, but the cars, oh my god.
yeah. Their trucks are making it back up the list. You know, they used to be at the bottom of the truck list, and now they've made their way back up to where they're, you know, battling it out with Dodge for third place. But it's but I think that the people are not buying new cars. I think they're worried about the economy. Well, worried about the economy as it is, and what November is going to bring about. So hopefully, people are thinking about fattening up their bank accounts, but also, that doesn't help people in our industry.
I don't think November is what you got to worry about. I think you got to worry about September and October.
Going in,
The crazy shit they're going to do because they've tried everything. Everything they try makes Big Orange more popular.
right?
All their cases are falling apart right now. They thought, if we put him in court and keep him off the campaign trail, maybe that'll work. That made him more. That gave him street cred with a lot of these crazy folks. That you would go after him. I mean, he's 77 years old, 78, and you think all of a sudden he's gonna start committing felonies now? I mean, people see through this shit.
It's just free publicity. He's not having to get out there and campaign. All he's got to do, or run ads. All he's got to do is just let them pay for the publicity, because every day there's a new article or new video about what went on the day before. But I think that from different videos, different from across the spectrum, I think people's changed about how they think about stuff nowadays. They're seeing because their wallets are being affected. They're seeing how states and government. Did you hear about the squirrel? Did you hear about the students walking out of the Duke University graduation ceremony?
They were mad at Seinfeld, right?
Yeah,
What did Jerry? Oh, because he's Jewish.
I guess it is.
I didn't think about it until just that moment. I'm like, just I guess because he's Jewish.
They better be glad that I'm not on the board of directors of Duke, because I would ban them from life forever setting foot back on that campus.
I don't know.
That is a big. Everybody wants to go to Duke because it's like the Southern Harvard and Yale and whatnot. And they do something like that to embarrass the school. I mean, that's pretty sad.
Can't we just leave them alone? Let them fight it out. Why do we have to give? If Israel's so great, why do we have to give them billions of dollars? And if the Palestine was so great, and they've been a country for all these years, why are they still trying to find somebody that'll help them out? Why don't they have their own country by now? I mean, can we? They're both sides are equally. Is it? Can you hate them both at the same time? I don't really hate either one of them. Can you? Can they? You think there's a solution that would? But who knows? But you notice the Middle East, all the countries, they kind of stand back. Iran is kind of throwing stuff at Israel because they're pissed off at Israel, but for the most part, the Middle Eastern countries don't want nothing to do with this. Why do we have to get in the middle of it?
But
So Larry says college is a waste of money. Okay, Larry, to an extent, it's a waste of money, but there are still some things. You know, I don't want an engineer who's going to build a building who decided, what, I can learn it on YouTube. I don't think we need to go that far yet. And there are some fields that need. We still need scientists. We still need there are businesses. Some of the business stuff you can do marketing without going through that. You can learn, but you got to learn the accounting and the there's some fields that you still need. All the
Yeah,
liberal arts stuff, the liberal arts, you know, to be a better English major.
I'm gonna get me a master's degree in French poetry. I think there's some. I'm an old man, so I should be able to get a lot of grant money for that. Bonjour, mon.
I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna get my master's in sarcasm. Can you get it in sarcasm?
Uh,
uh,
I you still haven't gone to you have still haven't gone to bed yet, lag. Oh god.
Lag. I'm sorry I kept you up last night. Your mama wanted to go at it hard. That headboard, I couldn't make the headboard quit hitting the wall. Sorry.
I bet he
Oh
has
jeez.
trouble sleeping. All he got's down there is a manger, right?
I thought after some point, lag, the rhythm of the headboard would rock you to sleep, but I guess not.
Yo mama.
Yeah,
Think about that all day, lag, and then see, that'll give you something to talk about your psychiatrist.
I agree with you, Beth.
It's crazy stuff. Like I just listed. Anybody pick that up at a yard sale? It was $4. Don't
Was
tell
that
me it's the
trimmer
whole.
line?
It's the biggest thing of trimmer line I've ever seen. I mean, it's how many feet? It's 846 feet of trimmer line.
Dang.
That would last me about 8 summers.
Yeah, I've got this listed for like $49 on eBay. So hopefully somebody buys it.
You're right, Mr. Sadie. Trade schools and apprenticeships are going to be where it's at.
100%.
I mean, it's yeah, unless you're going to be a doctor or a medical professional or something like that, or you're going to be an engineer, architect, where what you design is going could be cost somebody their life. Yes, you need to go to university for
I mean,
that.
we're
But
gonna.
you know what? If it's August and the air conditioning goes out in this place, we will pay an HVAC tech to come out here and fix it, whatever it costs. Um,
Yeah, right. I mean,
and there's
electrician.
not enough of them.
The
The last time
electrician.
we had a tech out here, he said, sorry I couldn't get out here sooner because we just don't have enough people to go around.
Yep, electricians, AC, heating. I mean, it's getting more and more because we're so spoiled now. You can't be outside 10 minutes. Oh my god, I'm dying.
Well,
Plumbers, when you're digging a hole in your backyard because there ain't enough plumbers, y'all think twice about that 150, $200,000 debt you got for college. Whenever, uh, yeah,
yeah, that's the kind of stuff that, and not saying anything bad about teachers because we have a teacher in our midst, and there might be some out in the chat.
but
If
he
people
didn't
can
tell you the same.
homeschool, if it's okay for families to homeschool their kids now, and they're getting the correct education, then why is it necessary to go get a 4-year degree?
I mean,
Be a
there's nothing
teacher.
wrong with teachers, but are we talking about teachers or are we talking about indoctrination agents? Which one is it?
I
Because
want to talk about teachers.
I have no problem with teachers. They do a fine job, and it's a great service to this community and our young people. But whenever it's an indoctrination agent of the government, and all they have is an agenda, and they are so concerned that the kindergartens know that they have a same sex partner, and they identify as a fucking oral or whatever the hell this thing is. Uh,
I identify as a Romulan.
uh,
You're right, Mr. Sadie. Plumbers are expensive. Now, a lot of that most of that goes to the company they're working for. But, once you've finished an apprenticeship, you can make and they can send you out on your own. You can make some pretty good jack. And, you know, you can always show the initiative and go sit for your exam because plumbers and electricians and HVAC people in North Carolina have to sit for an exam to be licensed.
they do most places because don't get me started on that. If we want to talk about government regulation and how laws are passed by all these damn agencies, and I think all that's unconstitutional. You can't if you want a state wants to have regulation, all that stuff should be passed in legislature. They're the only ones that. But we've created these government agencies, all this stuff that make up these rules, and that's the bureaucracy is. Man, we need to light these bureaucracies on fire and start over. I mean, look at stuff. How much is enough? How many times over do I have to pay for my house and taxes? I mean, the illusion of ownership. We are not free. You're the illusion of free.
Your house can be paid, but you're still paying. You're going to be still paying, depending on how much your house costs or where you live at. You're going to still be paying $250 a month, just putting it in savings to pay for taxes at the end of the year. So you're right. You never have anything paid off. Even though, like in South Carolina, they have a homestead exemption for. So the first 100,000 comes off of it, of your tax appraisal, and there's been a lot of people that my mom knows that have downsized their houses just to get it up under that $100,000 mark.
Yeah, it's we truly live in a mess that we've allowed to be created because we listen to these snake charmers. I'm telling you, get rid of when the income tax first came out. I mean, you still hear it today. We're just going after the rich. We're not going after the middle class. It's the rich should pay their fair share. Everybody goes, well, I guess that's okay. And now look at the income tax, how much we pay. So what are they doing now? How many times do they say that? We're just going after. We need more IRS agents to go after the rich to get make sure they're paying their fair share. We can audit the rich. And now all these announcements, how the middle class is the audits on the middle class is up astronomical compared to anywhere else. Uh, like they lie. I don't care what side of the government they're on. They lie. They lie. They lie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they need to have a VAT tax.
Because
If they want to go after the rich, they need to have a VAT tax.
it just needs to be a flat tax. The flat tax a few years ago, the fair tax, flat tax. I think Neil Boortz was pushing the fair tax. It's a flat tax. I'm telling you, there's eliminate all these deductions, just be a certain percentage, and that'll be it.
Josh, you pay $7,200 a year in taxes, property taxes for your house, dude.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. The $7,200 down here, you'd
I
have
think
to
mine
have
was like
about almost a $2 million house.
I think mine was like 1,700, something like that.
Yeah,
And that's
mine.
all. And that's only because it's doubled in value in the last 4 years.
Mine's like 2,300.
It was under 1,000 for a long time until the prices went nuts.
Yeah. And see, that's another thing that's happening. All these companies that came in and bought all these houses for rental houses, they lost their ass when nobody was paying rent. And
So
so,
it just so what's going to happen to the real estate taxes and because it's Huntsville can't be the only one. They are building apartments every fucking where.
yeah,
Every if there is 10 feet of land, there's an apartment building going on it, and it is insane the sheer amount of apartments that are being under construction right now or have just been finished. You go everywhere, and they put that. It's like that. It's like the little whatever they are. It's like somebody's pouring water on them. Their little babies are sprouting out. The gremlins. I mean, everywhere are apartments.
it's yeah, that's happening down here too. Just apartments everywhere.
Mother
And
said Wilmington was
I
that way.
wonder why. I don't know. So I'm going to preface about that. I wonder if an apartment is taxed the same way as a single family home.
I don't know. Somebody tell us. How do they evaluate apartment complexes, and
Big,
do they
big,
replace the same set tax?
a 3 bedroom apartment can have just as many kids as our 3 bedroom house going to school. So you're building all of these apartments, and you have all these new influx of people coming in. You bring all these new children into the school system. You know, they're bitching now that they don't have enough money. Everybody's going to go up $56,000. I mean, let's see. I think it was last year they want to go up $56 million. And I saw an article in the newspaper about some city school district. They're wanting, it's probably up north, they're wanting like $56 billion for their school district because they want to do all this stuff. And that's more than I believe it was Detroit. Don't hold me on that. But it was like that's bigger than the complete budget for the state of Michigan. And this I saw back up a ways. You say you wish you could homeschool, but your girls won't go for it. They love their mommy, but too much of a good thing is too much. Good morning, Ping. I didn't see you come in.
Yeah, too much in this, so it would be rough. Just kidding, Inez. I love you.
That's what Mr. Junk Trader says. I can never remember his name, and she has said it a million times.
So, so Larry says they tax apartments by property value here, same as houses. Their valuations, they need to make sure they're doing the correct evaluation on these things because they are, it's different in a single family home. Just because the income producing makes those things worth way more.
Well, I've mentioned before where Mecklenburg County did away with single family housing, and unless your subdivision has an HOA or it's deed restricted, you can build a multifamily house on it. But you have to deal with height limitations because if we didn't have height limitations, I'd I'd build a 12-story apartment building on this 1/2 acre lot. It'd be 2 apartments wide and 12 stories tall. But there's been a lot of people that have moved into they've moved into campers and they've set them up in mobile home parks. And this the zone the cities are not allowing that anymore because they're not made to be homes. They're supposed to be like campers. And so that's really got a lot of people hacked off. They've got to move so often to fall under the regulations. Well, who's going to move into them, Pink? Because from what I've been hearing, everybody's moving out of California IA. Even Sylvester Stallone has moved out. I guess everybody from our area that wants to go get all the freebies.
That's the only nice thing about being out here, and there's no apartments really being built out this way. They're all in town. And who's affording these damn things? Their mortgage, their rent is higher than my mortgage.
Yeah.
I mean, a two bedroom, 2 bath is like 2,300. That's no garage. That a lot of them have those garages and all that crazy mess on them.
Right.
I mean, you could be $2,500 a month on a freaking 2 bedroom apartment.
I used to do computer work for this lady, and she lived in an apartment that was $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month. When I saw that, when she told me that, I just, I'm like, why don't you build another house? Well, I don't want to have to deal with it.
What is $2,500 in Alabama? What does that equate to in paying? How much is a 2 bedroom, 2 bath apartment with a garage in California near you? Oh my God, I can't imagine what it's probably $4,000 or $5,000. John Jones, you will rent everything and own nothing, and you'll be happy. they've told you this. They wrote a book and told you what they wanted to do to you, and they're in the process of doing it right now. All these kids online talking about how they can't afford houses and they can't afford it. It's by demand. They
Well,
started this plan in the 70s whenever the taxation they took you off the gold standard and taxation was so high, inflation ripped through us that it forced families to both work, mothers and I'm telling you,
people, Europeans and Asians, they live their whole life. A lot of them, a majority of them, live their whole life in apartments. They don't ever own their own home. So I think it's just a mentality that Americans have is that that's you've got your own home. It's that's the thing you got to have. Yeah,
Alabama,
Vancouver was real high.
Alabama's hot and we're rednecks from hell. Don't come down here.
Yeah,
We hate everybody except the ones that already live here. We can tolerate them, but the rest of y'all stay away.
you better have a southern accent if you start looking for a house in.
Stop in Tennessee with all your fruity friends in Nashville. Don't go any farther south than that. Don't don't come whatever it is. Don't just like they say in Texas. Don't California our Texas. Don't any of the rest of the country our Alabama. You assholes. Stay away. We're rednecks. All we think about is football. It's hot as hell. We can't drive. We're dumb. Stay away.
Kent, I only have 4 cats.
Eric, even if you pay for cash, you don't own it.
Yeah, you're still paying your interest on it. I mean, your taxes on it is really high. I mean, even in South Carolina, you got to get out in the middle of the damn nowhere and have a tract of land that you're growing some tomatoes on, so you can get the farm deduction and to get your taxes down.
Go live in Kansas somewhere, middle of nowhere.
Yeah, Canada is supposed to be the
I'm talking
the
about like Kansas or somewhere out
oh
in the middle of
Kansas. I thought you
Oklahoma,
said Canada.
Nebraska.
Canada's supposed to be the promised land. That's where they need to move to. It's just cold as hell.
Move to Virginia. Jacob will find you a house. He's a real estate guy. He'll find you a house somewhere to live.
Yeah, Virginia.
He'll rent you somewhere to live. Go live with Jacob.
Yeah, It's one of the standout comedians that's from Canada, which I think is just about all of them. He says all these American celebrities keep talking about, so and so won. I'm leaving. I'm going to Canada. He's like, no, you're not. And he started talking about the process of moving to Canada. You're not a Canadian citizen. It's not just something you can just pack up a suitcase and move to Canada and get a work permit and all that BS. But he says because we don't want you. If you're saying that kind of stuff and leaving your country, then that means you're going to end up being problems for us too, and we have enough of our own. Good morning, Glenn. You at the office? It's almost 10 o'clock, so you better
Yeah,
be.
Glenn and Kent want some people. Y'all move down to Louisiana. They got some nice land down there.
Yeah, I hear they're looking for people for Baton Rouge. Wow.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's crazy, Josh. That redo your mortgage every 5 years, crazy mess. Bank's got it made up there. Damn.
people down here, all the radios are like, there's all these different. You got credit card bills, refinance your house and get them paid off. Those kind of commercials. I'm sure all of you heard it.
Mhm.
If you've got a bunch of credit card bills, you're going to pay, refinance, get your cards paid off, and then you're going to turn around and run them right back up again. And you'll be in the same position and you've got more money on your house.
Josh, 100% right. It's a slow fade. How did we get where we are now? It's a slow fade. You don't realize they keep it's the death of a thousand cuts. They keep going, oh, it's just this. It's to help out the children. It's just this. It's just this.
You know, I don't want to sound like the pawpaw that I am,
Oh shit!
but when I was in grade school,
Is that
we
all?
had
Is it all
we
in
had
one
the
building?
basic subjects.
In one
We were
building,
tra-
Tom?
we were transitioning for this is for lag. We were transitioning from papyrus to paper, but you went into a classroom. You had your basic courses. Once a week, you'd go to the library. Once a week, a art teacher would come in and you'd make macaroni posters or whatever.
Did it look like that?
No, ours was actually a 2 room. It was a 2 room, and I don't understand where all this stuff is coming from. Now, of course, the subjects should have intensified a little bit, but I was reading an article in the newspaper, and everything you read in the Charlotte Observer is true, where Detroit's school district only one out of four, 3 or 4 kids can read at a sixth grade level.
Because it's past everybody. It's racist or whatever it is to fail somebody. They all pass now.
Yeah, Tactical Z. We were in a cave for a while, and then we finally got a building. But I that's what I think needs to happen. Is get rid of some of this BS. And when the pandemic hit, it just didn't help things at all because, like, I had a next door neighbor that was um, a school teacher at one of the leading private schools in Charlotte, and he said that he was going to have to fail half of them, which was not going to look good for him or for the students.
That right there was an art project in Tom's class.
Yeah, what
That
is
looks like
that?
vomit. Yeah, that Tom's flag only had 27 stars.
Yeah. Well, Todd, remember, we're about the same age.
Uh,
You sure it didn't have just 13?
It's yeah, that's another thing. Our power goes out around here, and it's just like it's time to go to bed because there's nothing to do because the computers won't work. You won't, you know.
And he really calls you old because if there was 27 stars, that's before the Civil War because the Civil War had 34. I'm like, how many states? I'm like, I think there were more states during the Civil War. There were.
you know,
yes.
you're harsh sometimes.
Yeah. Tom did that surveying business with his dad. Now, didn't they split up the Louisiana Purchase? Yeah.
Yeah, we've helped with the Mason Dixon line too. Yeah, that's just it, Mr. Sadie. Yeah, would you like to round up? No, that's one of the things about the daggum self checkouts is that
What's
they're not bothering you with stuff like that, or do you want to, or you want to? It's $1 for the food bank and whatnot.
what's up
Everything.
with the tipping? All these damn people with everything you do, they want you to tip them. I'm gonna give you a tip. Find another job. Shit. Don't be bothering me with that mess.
We
Because we're sitting Saturday at the bar, eating lunch after the yard sales, and the waitress was like, "I bet that person that they didn't leave a tip on their to go order." I'm sitting here thinking, "You wouldn't like me because I ain't leaving a tip. If I gotta order it and come pick it up and then take it home, you ain't getting shit for a tip. I'm sorry."
Yeah, we when we have deliveries done, we tip them, but if I go pick it up or one of the boys pick it up, we just walk in and get what we were supposed to get. And I guess that's
It's absolutely out of control, Larry, and people are counting on you. It started off with that. Don't you want to just round up? McDonald's started off with those things in the window on the drive-throughs for change. People start throwing their change in there. Now you got cars, and it's just round up. No, I had one the other day. I was at the thrift store, and if it's a few cents, I'll round it up. I don't get, but it was like '02. I'm like, would you like to round it up 98 cents? No,
how about round it down to
I had. It's never rounded down.
if you only had like if it was $2.02 and you said I only got $2, they'd say I'm sorry.
Nah, most of them was. What was
Uh,
the one? So I was at a yard sale Saturday, and I bought two items. One was $5 and one was 10 cents, which didn't make any sense. And I'm like, I told the lady, I got to go to the car and get a dime. I don't have any change in my pocket. She says, "Oh, don't worry about it." They sold me. It was a 10 cents for the CO2 cartridges, a full box of 30 CO2 cartridges for 10 cents. No wonder Dougie had to leave. Dougie left your live and went live. What the hell?
yeah, he's at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
Is that
more
make
major win. Yeah, they just want.
okay? Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. It's time to get out of here. Thank you, Texas. It's kind of out of control right now, and that's the reason more restaurants are closing up.
I don't know how you, Harlan. I was telling Harlan on Saturday. I'm like, how do restaurants even make it? They've got such pressure with food prices. They've got with taxes and everything else. They got pressure with wage and labor. Food and labor are the two biggest things. And then now they can only raise the price so much. People are really starting. So now they've got pressure on prices as well. Man, I would not open a restaurant. Ooh.
Well, first of all, everybody eats too much, eats out too much, and there's a McDonald's on every street corner. Um, you
All
know,
right, I'll be right there, Jacob. Just save me a brush.
yeah. It's just a people's going to have to learn that they're either going to have to end up paying $25 for a damn Big Mac meal, or they're going to start cooking at home. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I got to get out of here. Major Win is going to be waiting for all you lovely people. Hop over there and make it a great day. Thank you, Todd.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Excitement. Y'all have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.